Hello, my fellow Americans. This is the 24th of January, 2025 edition of A Quiet Rage. I have notes, so I want to make sure I've chosen my words very carefully, and I've written them down to make sure that I say them just the way I want to say them. And I want to start by saying that our president, the president of these United States of America, is scientifically illiterate. How else can you explain I'm going to read this off my screen over here. Number 22 in the list of in the avalanche of executive orders issued on the 20th of January. Was that only 4 days ago? Oh man, it's gonna be a long 4 years. Number 22 in the avalanche of executive orders, many of which were just, I'm going to focus on this one. Number 22, defending women from gender ideology extremism and restoring biological truth to the federal government. That's the title of this piece of actual shit. I mean, reading the order defines a female as, quote, a person belonging at conception to the sex that produces the large reproductive cell, end quote, while a male is a, quote, person belonging at conception to the sex that produces the small reproductive cell, end quote. Here's the thing. In the first 6 or 7 weeks of gestation, we all are phenotypically female. It isn't until about the 6th or 7th week when your chromosomes start to interact with the developing fetus, embryo, developing into a fetus, start to tell it, hey, let's do male things in certain areas. That's why males have nipples. Now, nominally, of course, males don't lactate. Our nipples are vestigial. They don't do anything. Not vestigial, but anyway. Nominally. Now, it's not impossible. It's not unheard of. There are males who lactate. It happens. And it's this executive order, it completely ignores the fact that there are people that are intersex. There are people that there are males and females that don't have the XXXY chromosome arrangement that we are taught is what makes us male and female. There are variations. I'm not a biologist. If you want some biology, if you want better information on this, there's a man named Forrest Valkai. He's a science educator. I'm going to link his channel. He's got some really great stuff. I'm going to link his YouTube channel. He's a biologist. He studies this kind of stuff. He's way smarter than I am. And I have to credit him because this thought occurred to me too. But like, if you're writing a story, a novel, TV series, a movie, whatever. And in Act 1, Chapter 1, Episode 1, whatever, the President of the United States decrees what science is according to the federal government, and he's wrong, you would perhaps be rightly accused of going overboard. Like, oh, that's not going to happen. That is what's happening. That's the world we live in. And I've been trying to think of something similar. The only thing I could come up with, and it's not even really a good simile, is like if the president were to say, henceforth, by executive order, the United States will operate under a 24-hour clock in accordance with the sun's rotation around the Earth, or the sun's orbit around the Earth. Even though, obviously, the Earth orbits around the sun. But that's not even... That's getting to the right conclusion using the wrong science. This is getting the wrong conclusion using the wrong science. Biologists, embryologists, people, scientists that actually study this stuff are rightly calling this executive order a load of hogwash. And it's probably going to be challenged legally because it's in addition to being stupid, it's mean. It's punching down. It's telling trans people and intersex people, you don't exist. According to the federal government of the United States, yeah, sorry, you're wrong. You're wrong about who you are as a person. Why are we in that business? Why is the federal government, why do we care? You're not protecting anybody. And anyway, I'm going to get into that further later. I don't know. The second point I want to make about our president, and again, I'm choosing my words very carefully. The president of these United States, our president, is a Nazi sympathizer. Yep. If you saw, or if you didn't see, at a rally on Inauguration Day that afternoon, the richest man in the entire world, Elon Musk, got up on stage and twice gave a Roman salute, a Sieg Heil, a Nazi salute. I won't recreate it. He did it twice. And I've already been in arguments with people trying to tell me that's not what that is. He was saying, my heart goes out to you. Do you know what you do if you want to say my heart goes out to you? You do something like that. You do this, right? And he's done this. There's video of him doing this. Okay? So he knows how to do it properly. And when you're saying my heart goes out to you, you smile. What was his facial expression? Watch it. Watch the video. I'm going to link a story that's got the video. That's not a gregarious face. That's not a face of a person who wants you to feel the love. He was sending a clear signal. And as I also said in my argument with the people on the lines, on the electric internet, it's not as though this happened in a vacuum. It's not as though Elon Musk just walked out on that stage and this is the first time he's ever done anything that could be remotely perceived as being sympathetic to Nazis. He's changed his name, his Twitter handle. Fuck you, I'm not calling it X, it's Twitter. He's changed his Twitter handle to an internet meme name, a Keck something. I don't know. There's history to it. Far right lunatics use this, and he's also changed his profile picture to a picture of Pepe the Frog, an image that has also been co-opted by far right extremists on the internet. And my third point, you don't have to take my word that what he did was a Nazi salute. You can take the word of actual Nazis, because there are people, far-right extremists, Nazis, white supremacists, Christian nationalists, who are overjoyed right now. And I can find you in the story I'm going to link. I'm pretty sure that there's some screen captures of people on Twitter, far right, known far right extremists, and anonymous Twitter handles that love to promote far right extremism, Nazi, shit. They're like, yes, Elon is one of us. They're happy about this. So don't take my word for it. The Nazis think it was a Nazi salute. What more do you need? I really ask you. And here's the thing. For anyone trying to defend Elon, we didn't elect him. He's not American. He's not an American citizen. There's a fairly good chance that he's actually here illegally. Shocker. Maybe we can deport him. That'd be great. I'm actually in favor of that one. And here's the thing. He's the richest man in the world. And he's been given a position in this Department of Government Efficiency organization. He's in an unelected position. He's a bureaucrat now. That's great. And we have a problem now, because he's not going to go away unless he gets fired or he gets bored. Even if he gets bored, he's just going to stop doing things for Doge. Which, by the way, if there was, come on, is that not an indication that this is not serious? We're naming a government agency after a meme? It's going to be a long 4 years. When I was young in the Navy, we used to fantasize about winning the lottery. How great would that be? Because the military, if you win, if you are suddenly in possession of a large amount of money, like millions of dollars, you know what the military does? They discharge you. Why? Because if you make more money than the captain, if the captain can't financially punish you, not all of, but a good part of your motivation to do what you're told to do goes away. Like, if you're sitting on $10 million and your CO tells you, charge up that hill and take, here's some grenades and a machine gun, go take that foxhole, go take that hill, whatever, you might just tell him to go get fucked. You get discharged. Because the captain can't tell you what to do. Your commanding officer can't really tell you what to do anymore. That's the situation we have now. We have the richest man in the world is now a government employee. And he's going to be completely unfettered, as if he wasn't already, by any sort of decorum or any rationality. And we've already seen in the past, Trump and Musk have gone back and forth. It's a love, hate, hate, love. This is, we got a problem, and its name is Musk. How do you wash out Musk? Let's talk about something happy, though. Let's talk about how I mentioned before in my last episode, I wanted to talk about how and why ridicule of people, of Trump supporters, is important, is good, and I highly recommend it. And here's why. I want to tell you a little bit about the story of Superman versus the Clan of the Fiery Cross. Back in the 1940s, there was a man named Stetson Kennedy. What he did was under an assumed name, a fake name, he managed to infiltrate the Ku Klux Klan in and around Atlanta, Georgia. And he was friends with one of the producers for the Superman radio show. And he was embedded in the KKK. He was going to meetings. He was wearing the hood. He was burning crosses. He was doing all the things. They thought he was really one of them. And he was trying to make use of this information that he had, but nobody really wanted to do anything about it. There was a politician that he tried to talk to. Yeah, he sent the evidence to prosecutors, to politicians, journalists, human rights organizations, all this stuff. And there was a congressman. This is here. Congressman John S. Wood of Georgia said that, quote, "The threats and intimidation of the Klan, by the Klan, are an old American custom like illegal whiskey making." So nobody wanted to touch this. Nobody wanted to take on the KKK. But what he did was he found a man named Andrew Russell Pearson, a muckraking journalist. We need some more muckrakers in our lives, in our world, and a radio host. Professionally, he was known as Drew Pearson, and Pearson would read the minutes from Klan meetings on his national radio show. He would name prominent politicians, police officers, etc., church officials. He would read their names, and they started using code words and information from that Stetson, Mr. Kennedy, had gained from his embeddedness in the KKK on the Superman radio show. And they had a whole story arc called Superman versus the Clan of the Fiery Cross. And the reaction, because you're making fun of these people. You're saying, because Superman needed a villain at this point. This is in the 1940s. This is late 40s, after World War II. So we've defeated communism. Well, not communism yet. That's coming. We've defeated the Nazis. We've defeated the fascists in Italy. We've defeated Hirohito and the Japanese imperialists. So now Superman needs a villain, and the KKK was great as a villain, and it was embarrassing to have their code words used in this Superman radio show. It was embarrassing to have their names read out as a list of attendees to meetings in meeting minutes. This was embarrassing. And crucially, Kellogg's, the cereal company, was the major sponsor for this program, and there was some effort by members of the KKK to try and shame Kellogg's and try and boycott Kellogg's, but they, the company, stood by their sponsorship of this program. And the effect was almost immediate. People didn't want to go to meetings anymore. People didn't want to be known. People didn't want their names read on the radio, because television was just coming about. The radio, everyone sat around the radio in the evening, and you don't want your name read. You don't want it being known that you're a member. This is a secret organization. They say what you will about the KKK, and they are fucking terrible people. At least they had the decency to know, to understand that what they were doing was shameful, and it should, if it was going to be done, it should be done in secret, or at least attempted. And it was no longer in secret. They were ridiculed. They were made fun of. So I encourage you to make fun of people that think that Trump is smart, because he's not. He's a dumb person's idea of a smart person. He's a poor person's idea of a rich person. He is scientifically illiterate. It is my opinion, he's a fucking moron. He's an idiot. He's a useful idiot. We've seen that. We know that's... He's mean, he's small, he's stupid. He's got all the best words. No, he doesn't. He's an idiot. And he is taking a whole lot of people for a ride and making them look stupid. He's selling them meme coins and making millions of dollars off of them. He's making them stand in boiling hot weather to wait for a rally that gets canceled. He makes them stand in the rain waiting for buses to take them back to their cars that don't show up. He's a bad person. And anybody that supports him, anybody that thinks that he's a good person, you've had 8-9 years now of proof that he's not a good person. So we should be ridiculing people who still think he's a good person against all the evidence. That's my opinion. If you don't want to do that, all right. I'm going to keep making fun of these people, because we have documented evidence that making fun of people doing things that are shameful and stupid can actually work. What can we do to have a positive impact? I want to reiterate, we should be supporting organizations like the American Civil Liberties Union. Another one of the many really, really stupid executive orders that our president signed on the 20th of January was an executive order trying to change our definition of birthright citizenship. It has already been challenged in court. There are ACLU and another organization, I can't remember the name, and 2 different groups of states have already challenged this thing in court, and one judge has already issued a restraining order, a temporary restraining order against implementation of said executive order. And I don't have the quote in front of me, but basically he said, and this judge, by the way, was appointed by Reagan, and basically he said, I've been sitting on the bench for over 4 decades now, and this is the most blatantly unconstitutional thing that has ever come before me in all of my years as a judge. So, yay! Our president is making history. Yeah. It's going to be a long 4 years. As always, find your people, find like-minded folks, gather together. Fellowship is good, especially as we're going to go through some really trying times. Things are going to get worse. But keep your powder dry. If you feel like I do, that this is not right, these things are not right, this is not what our president should be doing, this is not what our country should be doing, then keep your quiet rage. And I will see you in the next episode. Good night, my fellow Americans.